Good evening. It's the 27th of November, Thanksgiving Thursday here in Central Iowa. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. This is Travis with Travis Dean Storms. We're going to talk about the weather. As we know, if you've been listening to your local media broadcast, Snowmageddon is coming, and it is now even more probable than not that we are going to get dumped on. So let's go take a look at the what the National Weather Service says, and we'll go from there. So here is what the National Weather Service has put out. We do have a winter storm warning. This warning does go into effect from at 3 p.m. on Friday until 6 a.m. on Sunday. The peak of this storm should be Saturday morning and very early in the morning. It's going to start Friday night and last all the way through Sunday for the snow. Heavy snow will make it difficult to travel at times, to impossible, near to impossible. Post-Thanksgiving travel will be impaired. We've been talking about this for a few days now. What to do? You might want to consider delaying or canceling travel. If you must travel in a car, make sure you pack an emergency kit in case you get stuck, and take it easy when you're shoveling snow. Now, the reason they put this out, that tells me that's going to be a very wet snow we're going to get, and that snow is going to be very, very, very heavy. It's going to be a prolonged period of snow with accumulations of 6 to 10 inches, up to 13 inches, and we'll kind of nail down where that's going to be. Which, again, we've been talking about that. We talked about that last night in regards to where the snow is going to fall and what the models were showing. So we talked about that last night. And that's pretty much the same area, but we'll just kind of go over that again. So again, we're going to have we're going to have dangerous travel, reduced visibility, holiday travel impacts are going to be there. So please make sure that you are very, very careful if you've got to be out overnight Friday into Saturday morning. Potential snow accumulations, and we've talked about this too in our talks over the last couple of days. The models have come into agreement that we're going to get anywhere from 8 to 13 inches of snow here in the Des Moines metro area. You go north of Des Moines to Ames, over to Tama, Marshall County, up to Grundy County, Hamilton County. They're looking at the 9 to 14 inch range. Actually, if you look at that color, that's usually 12 to 18. But I believe it's going to be more on the higher end. Same here in Des Moines, it's going to be on the higher end. Down in Southwest Iowa, they're going to get some ice. There's going to be some glaze of ice that's going to happen in the southern tier of counties before it turns over to snow. So snow on top of ice, never good. So moderate to heavy snow is expected for much of the state. The rain-snow mix will be possible in far southern Iowa, mainly south of Highway 34, which is those southern two tiers of counties. The timing, it's looks like let me back up here. We'll go to bottom line up front. 1 inch per hour snow rates are possible. There's a 40% chance of that. I want to say there's a possibility we may hear thunder snow. Usually in Iowa, when we get these type of snow amounts, we have thunder snow, especially with the heavy wet snow. And it sounds like it's going to be a convective snow. So hearing some thunder is not out of the question for this storm. Travel will be difficult to impossible at times due to the heavy snow. There are going to be winds. It's not going to be 50 knots. It's going to be around 10 knots, 10 to 15 knots. So that's still a pretty stout wind that's going to blow that snow around regardless of the texture of the snow, whether it's wet snow or dry snow. The snow should dry out as the storm goes along. So it should start off wet, and then it should transition to a very dry snow. The timing, it begins on Friday at 3. The peak is Saturday from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then it should end anytime after midnight on Sunday, which is what we kind of talked about last night in regards to timing. It looked like it was slowing down. So there's going to be widespread amounts of 6 inches expected this weekend. High amounts could exceed a foot, with 1 inch per hour snowfall rates are possible Saturday morning. So we may go live and be out traveling, and then also if we need to, we'll come back here and we'll be live in studio. So that way we can keep you ahead of the storm, so we can show you where those heavy snow bands are setting up and keep you ahead of the storm. Now, if you do have to travel, there's a few things I've been recommending, and we'll get to those here in just a second. The first thing is telling your family and friends the route you're going to take and making sure you stick to the route, and then communicating when you leave and when you arrive. So that way, so if you're leaving, somebody that's at your arrival point or a friend, make sure you let them know you're leaving. And then when you arrive, make sure you tell those same people that you've arrived. So that way everybody knows you're safe. And tell them your path, because if something happens, you want to be able to find you because it's going to be very dangerous out there. So if you do have to drive, here's what you can have for your winter survival kit. Make sure that you have all items are in your kit and easy access to the winter. So you can have it like in a tub so you can put it in and out of your car. Makes it quite easy. Make sure you have a cell phone charger and make sure it still works and is compatible with your current phone. Make sure you have a first aid kit and restock of any items if you need to. Check your winter gear. Make sure all family members have coats, boots, and gloves that fit, and also hats. Most of your heat that you lose in these situations is going to be through your head. So the more you can keep inside yourself, the better off you're going to be. Check to make sure your jumper cables are in working order. Put a flashlight in your car, and then make sure the flashlight works and replace batteries if needed. It's best to kind of get a USB charged flashlight. Duracell makes a great USB charged flashlight. I've got them. I like it. Check it out. It's great for you. It also has a little strobe effect on it, so it can, flash people when they need to do. And when you're trying to get somebody's attention if you are stranded. And check the expiration date and restock any snacks that are in your winter survival kit. A couple things that are not mentioned here that I recommend. One is make sure that you have a shovel. Two, make sure you have some cat litter. Those two things can come in very handy if you need to get out of a ditch and you find yourself stuck where you're not stuck so bad but it's bad enough that you need something to give you some extra traction, whether it's going uphill, downhill, what have you. This is going to be the first major snow event that we have here in central Iowa. We have not had practice driving on snow. It is going to be a challenge for those out there who have not. It's just going to be a travel challenge because just the way human nature works, we have to have a snow or two under our belt so we can get that practice under our belt for driving in the snowy conditions. So that, and the other thing that I suggest is that you do 511ia.org. This is the road conditions hotline for the state of Iowa. And it actually is it has up to date, real time road conditions out there. Right now, we're all green here in central Iowa. Over here, we'll probably see the blues and the pinks start coming in from northwest Iowa over down to central Iowa at some point over tomorrow afternoon and evening. So we'll watch that happen. We don't want to see the red dotted or the purple, because if that happens, that means that travel is not advised and it's impassable. The road would be impassable, which would happen with some drifting. If we get some drifting of snow, if that snow turns light and it drifts, that would be a problem. If the snow turns slushy, it starts off falling wet and it turns slushy and then it freezes. That will create a layer of ice underneath any snow that falls, and that is dangerous to drive on. This also allows you to see the traffic cameras throughout the state. And if need be, you can always go to and see snowplows as they're out driving around. So please make sure you have this on your phone as a favorite within your browsers, so that way you can access it very easily. And then you can ascertain whether it's something you really want to do to try and get home or not, or just stay put. It is going to be safer to stay put. If you can avoid travel on Saturday, it is going to be very, very important for you just to stay put. Safer. It's going to be safer for you to stay put than it is going to be to travel. So let's take a look at the what the models are saying here. We're now into the models that can now have that more granular type of data that they can provide us. So let's just take a look here. This is the NAM model, and the NAM model, it only goes out like 60 hours. And we're going to see what we can get here. See what it says and what output is. So here we are Friday night, 2100. So that's actually 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, 6 p.m., 9 p.m., midnight. As you can see, by midnight Friday, it's going to start with, or midnight Saturday, it's going to start with a vengeance up in Northwest Iowa. They should already have, 4 inches starting at 9 p.m. on Friday. And then by midnight, they'll have 8 inches. And then that just moves down diagonally down the state. And then you can see where that bullseye of heavy snow is going to be. So the NAM model is sounds like what the National Weather Service is using to make their forecast. And if this holds true, Marshall County, Story County, Grundy County, Hamilton County, you guys are going to get just dumped on. I mean, it's very unheard of to have 18.3 inches and 19.7 inches of snow. And this is the latest model run. So yeah. Not good at all. Actually, here's the latest model run. That was the one prior, but still 15. I mean, they got 15.1 inches here in Des Moines. 15 inches here in Des Moines. That's a foot. That's a foot plus 3. And so let's take a look if that snow is drier, what that's going to be, the 10-to-1 ratio, and just see what they're forecasting for us here. So let's see here. We go out 10, 11, 12, 13. Is this the latest model run? Yep, that's the latest model run for the NAM. Holy cow, my friends. That is a lot of snow. Now, they have more snow actually here in southwest Iowa, out here in Marion County, Poweshiek County, or Marion County, Keokuk County, Washington County, Wapello County. They got 16.9, 18, 19 inches. It all depends where the snow band's set up, and if they're convective and where they set up. And if you find yourself underneath them, you're going to have heavy snow, fall rates up to 1 inch an hour, maybe even 2 inches per hour. For those amounts, you have to be almost at 2 inches per hour. So let's go down to a little bit more granular level here. We'll go to the NAM 3 kilometer and see what it has to say. Again, look what it's doing for Des Moines, guys. Look what it's saying for Des Moines, 10 inches. So it looks like the first flakes here in Des Moines are not going to fall. Let's see, that's 2, and they do this by hour. So I'm sorry, I'm doing math in my head. So 2, that's going to be 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night. Looks like the first flakes are going to be falling up in Ames around 9 o'clock tomorrow night. There's 10. So the first flakes around here in Des Moines should be around 10 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock is when we should expect the first flakes here in Des Moines on Friday evening and overnight. And then we just go from there. This is hour by hour as we just click away here. And that snow is coming down at a pretty good clip. See, 8 a.m. That's 2 a.m. on Friday. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Oh, that's when, oh, did you see that? Holy cow. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a.m., 11, 12. Holy cow. And the other thing, if you noticed here as we go through this, is every model is consistent. They're showing anywhere from, 8 to 12, but I would bet that they're going to up those amounts. If these models are still consistent within another couple runs, they will up our total. And look at what it's doing here for Des Moines, 13.5, 14. It just keeps going up. It hasn't stopped yet. So 4 a.m. on Sunday is 11 o'clock Saturday night. And then finally it stops early morning Sunday. So let's just back this up so we can kind of see where we're going to get the dump here. So 5 a.m. That's 11 o'clock on Friday night. So from 11, oofta. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's in the morning. This is 6 a.m. Whew. So I'm going to try and be up early so I can be out in it. I may actually stay up overnight on Friday night just so I can be out in the weather for you guys if need be. Just gonna, it's gonna dump, guys. It's gonna dump and dump a lot of snow. This latest run of this NAM 3 kilometer, yep, that's the latest run, shows 14.6 inches of snow. Again, it all is dependent where those convective bands set up. Usually, again, I would expect thunder snow when we have snowfall rates into an inch an hour. It's gonna be wet snow. So I would expect some thunder snow, which would be great because, of course, I love thunder snow. There's nothing more fun than thunder snow. But when you get any thunder snow, that's when you're going to get a lot of snow. And that's what's going to happen here. I mean, this model, just has eastern Iowa getting clobbered along with Des Moines. And then north central Iowa getting clobbered too. But we're going to get clobbered. There's no doubt about it. Okay, well, that's the update on Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving with your families. If not, if you're having Thanksgiving now, I hope you are having a great one with your family. If you had your noon meal, I hope it was great. I hope you're, that food coma does kind of set in a little bit once you get your bellies full. So, but, fill your bellies with food and love. That's what Thanksgiving is all about. Be thankful. I want you guys all to be safe when it comes to travel on Saturday. Please be safe. And please, please, please make sure that you do those 3 things for me. Survival kit, 511ia.org, and tell your family or friends when you're traveling. If you don't have to travel, don't. If there's no need or if there's no requirement for you to travel anytime after 9 o'clock on Friday night here in central Iowa, don't. Just don't. Just stay home or stay where you're at, stay put, and try and travel on Sunday afternoon. That'll allow the road crews to get out, the sun to melt some of that stuff, and the road crews to scrape it off of the road for us. So that way you can have better roads to travel on than having it fall in the heavy snow. So central Iowa, we're going to get it, and we're going to get it good. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be our first weather event. It's going to come early. It's relatively early for us to get it in November. But we need the moisture here too, so it'll be nice to have, but it didn't have to happen on a weekend. People getting home on Sunday is going to be a little bit of a difficult. From the airport to the roads, it's just going to be difficult no matter which way you do it. Just be patient, enjoy your time with family and friends, and be safe. And that's all I've got for you tonight. Be safe out there, and we will talk to you tomorrow evening and get the final update and the final weather forecast tweaking and go from there. But anyway, be safe. Get prepared if you got to travel. And after that, that's all I got for you guys. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Take care now. Bye.